Well, hello, Taylor. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me today. This multi-stream live interview.
So fancy and high tech. It's awesome.
Yes.
How you doing, man? Hanging in through all this madness.
Yeah. That's definitely all we can do at this point. But I'm sure you're too busy to even think about the madness right now.
Ah, it's still in the forefront of my brain, but
Right.
like everyone. But yeah, I was joking the other day. I was like, I never knew I could be so busy and not leave my house.
That's true. That's true. I feel like for me and my job, like most of the fun parts have been taken away because I can't go anywhere. So now I'm like in an office with like all these people
No,
all
I'm with you.
day.
I didn't exactly join a rock band to suddenly become a computer expert, and
Right.
suddenly I'm spending most of my time in front of a computer screen, and it's a little. It, hey, it is
Do,
what it is.
yeah,
And
right. Do you ever get those like computer screen headaches where you like if you're staring at it too long and you start to get the headache in the back of your
you get the headache that starts from the back, goes to the
oh
front, in between your eyebrows,
right.
eye sockets, and then I feel like when you start to look away from the computer, you like everything starts is blurry, or maybe that's just me because I actually need glasses and I just don't wear them.
You
But
know, I've been debating on whether going to the doctor or not and seeing if I need them, but we're just gonna put it off a little bit longer.
yeah, no, I'm not putting off the doctor as long as possible.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly. Well, you, like I said, have a busy time coming up right now. I mean, you've got your new album, Death by Rock and Roll, dropping February 12th. You
Yeah.
excited?
I'm so, it honestly at this point it feels a little surreal. I mean, we finished the record like I don't know, almost over a year ago at this point, and so we've just been kind of sitting on it, waiting for life to kind of clear up so we could tour again, and who knows when that's going to happen. So we kind of got to a point where I just kind of like shut my eyes. I was like, pick a date. Like I can't sit on this record anymore. And we just put
Right.
out we put out a song called 25 that I wrote that when I was 24 turning 25. I'm now 27. I'm like, what am I going to put this record out when I'm 30? Like I got other things to say. Got to keep it pushing. So
Right.
excited is an understatement. I'm so proud of this record, and I'm so excited for everyone to be able to finally hear it. But yeah, it just feels a little weird. Like it's only 2 weeks away.
Right. And it's so being an artist basically is like uh, it's like a very vulnerable thing. Like, of course, you know that because you're basically creating an audible version of yourself to send out to be judged. Like, what goes through your mind in the weeks leading up to it?
It's a really good question and a very unique and kind of poignant way of putting it. I never really thought of it exactly like that. It's I don't know. It's a flux of emotions. I think it's you pour so much of yourself in, kind of like you said, you pour so much of yourself into the writing and the creation of it, and for so long it's yours. It's like
Right.
this child and this baby that just belongs to you. And so when you release it, it's when it comes out finally, there's great excitement. But I always say it's like sending a kid off to college or something. Not that I have kids, so it's kind of an unfair analogy for me to make, but I assume that's what it feels like, where
Right.
suddenly you raised this thing and you hope you did it well, and now you're sending it off into the world to live. And so it's this kind of, I don't know, it's, in one way it's almost sad, and in the other way it's just extraordinarily exciting because that's the point of music is you make it for yourself, and then eventually you just want to share it with everyone. And I've certainly hit that point where I want everyone to hear it. I'm
Right.
really proud of it. So
I feel like
um,
it's a super positive way to look at it too, because I know, like I relate not on your scale obviously, but I'm an artist myself, and anytime I release anything new, I'm like biting my nails, and I'm like, well, crap, I just sent my soul off, and then now people are gonna rip it apart, you know. So it's like
I
you don't want your kid to get beat up by bullies and stuff like
No,
that.
exactly. But I mean, but also I try not to look at it from people are going to judge whatever they're going to judge, however they're going to judge it. That's
Yep.
not, and so if, as long as I've done my due diligence with the album and with the music and the art, I'm fine with it. I'm sure with it. Like if for you, that's fine. Like it's totally cool. There's plenty of records people like that are not for me, and it's just not my thing.
Right.
So it's because I've created something that personally really happy with and really proud of, then I feel successful, you know. And commercial success is like that's a whole other thing that like I don't even really know what it means.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Honestly, you
really
make the
don't.
music. If you make the money, that's cool too, right?
Yeah, like because I'd be doing this without it. Like I'm very fortunate that I get to call this my job. Like
Yeah, dude.
that's crazy to me. But it's but I'd be doing it regardless, you know. So it's kind of I don't know. I got really sad about it like the other night. I was kind of like, oh, it's coming out and that's it. And bye, kid. You know, bye,
Yeah.
baby.
See you
But at
later.
the same
Pack your lunch.
time, I'm so proud of my child, and I want it to go experience everything. So I don't know
Yeah.
that I'm losing my plot here, but you get what I'm
No,
saying.
I get it, man. I get it. And then hopefully here pretty soon, we'll start seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and you can start touring on it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part is that once the record comes out, I was thinking about it the other night. It's just like, well, then what? Like,
Right. That's
normally,
there. Okay.
normally you put out an album, you go on tour, and you're in a different city every night. You're in a different country. You're flying around. You're playing the songs and you're keeping them alive.
Right.
And it's a very strange time to release new music and not be able to kind of complete that circle. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm trying to figure out live stream shows, or all that crap, and
It's so boring.
it's we're not the same, but trying to figure out. Honestly, at this point, I've done so many kind of acoustic strip back things during quarantine, from my house, which I've actually really enjoyed,
Yeah.
and has been something different that a lot of those things wouldn't have come to fruition if we weren't in the situation that we're currently in. So looking from the positive side of things, that's actually been pretty cool. But at this point, man, as much as I love acoustic guitar, I am missing electricity
Being
desperately.
loud, dude.
Like, my God, I just want to get into, even if we can't do it in front of a full audience yet, like even if it's just the four of us in a room, like plugged in and playing. Like I miss Jamie smashing his drums and the guitar is cranked to 10 and me screaming into a microphone. Like that feeling is, I'm dying for it. I feel like I'm going through a withdrawal.
And for those who've never felt that before, it's like the best. I don't want to make this reference, but I'm gonna. But it's the best kind of drug. Like it, especially when that feeling when you're going up on stage, and I'm like you with thousands of people out there, even with me with hundreds. Like that chest feeling that you're like, you feel basically you can't die at that point. It's
An immense, like, I don't know, connection that you can't get anywhere else. Like when it's when you're on stage and there's an audience there, and it's for one night, and it's that one. It's intimate yet it's broad. Like I don't know, the sweat. Like I just miss the sweat. Like
Yeah,
the stage sweat that like you can't get from anywhere else.
Yes,
Like,
and like you go to hug somebody off the stage, and they're like, "Oh, you're sweaty." You're like, "Right? Yes."
yeah, I know.
It smells like rock. Smell it.
Smell it. Yes, that is rock and roll. No, I know. I don't know. I'm in the same boat as everyone, so I'm trying to just, hang in and wait and just play the patient game.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, judging from the comments over here, it looks like everyone else is super excited about the album too. So that's really cool.
Thanks, guys.
So here's something interesting to think about. So you basically had, I don't know, a year off of touring, right? A whole year.
Well, with 2020, I don't know. We haven't been on tour in a while, and we went through quite a bit. Honestly, time has blended together at this point.
Right.
Not just from COVID, but from my kind of previous experiences in the past few years. But it's been a minute, so I feel
Do you think you're gonna have a hard time adjusting back into the no sleep and rock and roll side of things, or you think it's gonna be like riding a bike?
No, I don't leave my house, but I pretty much still live on the same schedule of no sleep,
Fair.
Nocturnal.
Yeah, I get you, man.
I've kind of always lived my life as a gypsy, so traveling I'm very used to it. don't necessarily know if I miss it that much at the moment, because that's the part that's actually really exhausting. Like playing a show every night's awesome, but
Right.
the travel and the lack of sleep in a different kind of way than not sleeping at home. Like I'm kind of an insomniac in general, but
Right.
that kind of it's a deep-seated exhaustion by the end of like a 2 year. 2 year.
Sunglasses every day, shots of espresso, dude.
Exactly. Like, yeah. People always judge me. They're like, why is she wearing sunglasses?
Because everything's so bright.
Everything's so bright. And I swear to God, I'm a vampire at this point. Like, I see sunlight and it burns. Like, it hurts my eyes.
Right. I don't want to go.
I don't want it. No, don't show it to me.
I don't want to answer your question about my favorite food. Just let me sleep a little bit more.
Someone quick, give me a Red Bull.
Yes.
Turn down the lights in here. It's too bright.
Or let's Coke Zero. That's not a sponsored thing, but hopefully maybe something someday. So we've been spinning a couple of the tracks off the record right now. The Death by Rock and Roll, of course. We talked when that first came out, and it was a solid thing. Now we've got And So It Went playing right now. And when I first heard it, I thought it was an interesting arrangement because it felt like the verse and the chorus had switched roles in a way. Like you've got the hook, but like so it's more energy in the verse, and then it calms down for the chorus, and then it was just very interesting to me.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. That I mean, that's awesome. I love. Really proud of the song. I think it turned out really, really awesome. I don't know. It's just kind of a straightforward rock and roll tune with some weird little twists in there, and then obviously featuring Tom Morello's legendary, masterfully played guitar solo. So
Fuck yeah, dude. I was whenever they first sent it to us, I'm like, Tom Morello? All right, play now.
He doesn't disappoint either. Like
never.
Like, he's a wizard. I don't know. He's got such a. I love him. I mean, he's got obviously, but like he's got such a just a unique sound. I mean, he kind of he redefined the guitar in a lot of ways, and that's such an amazing feat, to say the least. And I love musicians and players that when you hear them, you automatically know who that is, where you can really hear the person behind the note or the person behind the playing, and it's not just endless shred or whatever you want.
Right.
Like endless pentatonic scales, and it's like, well, that could be anyone who's practiced a long time. Like,
go to a book, just read it out.
Exactly. I love guitar players and musicians that have such a defining quality to their sound, where they when they play, they sound like a human voice.
Right.
Like it sounds like they're singing, and that's and Tom certainly does that. It's just it's freaking awesome.
And with that whammy pedal, he's got some range.
Yeah, he does.
One thing I've always wanted to know, and I've never got to ask anybody this before. So you've used like a children's choir thing in a few of your songs over the years, and this one, And So It Went has one in there as well. Where do these choirs come from? Like, is there just some like pool of studio children's choirs to choose from, or like?
Well, it's actually you find a rainbow, you you find a leprechaun, and you put a coin in the pot and donate.
Yeah. That's the perfect answer. I'll accept it.
Yeah, right. No, they're these magical children choirs from Valhalla, and they come down to sing on rock and roll records.
You sacrifice some Peppa Pigs or whatever, and then they pop out.
You pop out, you call Thor. He says, "What's up?" And you go, "Hey, I need the guys from Asgard to come down and sing on this, please." And,
yes. That it's always like I've just always kind of like wondered about that because that even from the first time I heard The Wall from Pink Floyd, I'm like, so do they just go to a school and be like, "Hey, man, I need your children's choir for the day," and like. I
mean, in one way, kind of. I mean, we've only done it twice. One was on, obviously one was on Heaven Knows, and And So It Went. Both two very different schools in different states, and you just kind of have to try to pull it's always kind of funny actually, kind of, because you have these young kids and they're singing lyrics that they don't necessarily understand
Yes.
exactly what they're singing about, and yet you want to kind of convey their energy and convey the energy to them that they're trying to convey back at you in relatable terms. So there's a little bit of directing that goes
Right.
that's involved to
I
kind of
picture them showing up with a writer, like, all right, I need a 6-pack of Kool-Aid, and I need all red Skittles.
only red Skittles. I
But
want
ask my
everything.
mom first.
Yes, that's I love it. No, I mean that I gotta give the kids choir situation. I mean the concept, which is kind of interesting on both those songs, is that it didn't come from a place of like we want to just put a gang vocal at the end of these songs. They're actually written into the songs themselves. Whereas heaven knows I'm speaking to children and I'm commanding them to do something, saying sing it, and they sing it back to me.
Right.
And so it went. I'm talking about children, and they said, and so it's actually written into the song itself. But I really got to hand it to the producers of the album to get the kids to do what you need. I mean, the first one being.
If you don't get this take right, Santa's not coming over.
Exactly. No, the first one was all all Cato, and unfortunately he's no longer with us. But
Right.
But got to give it to my man Jonathan Wyman on, and so it went. And he really got those kids to go nuts, and by the time they were done, they were really into it.
Yeah. Walked out with sunglasses.
Yeah.
I always got to hand it to the Pretty Reckless Records because the productions are always so pristine, and I love the guitar tones you guys choose, right down to like your drum sound. It's natural, but it still sounds big and full like a production. Just hats off to that, man. Just wanted to say thank you for the excellent quality.
Well, thank you. Thank you for noticing and appreciating it.
It's about.
Thank you. We spent a lot of time working on that. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I was given a time limit, but I did have some like silly would you rather questions if you wanted to partake.
Sure.
Sweet.
I generally suck at like games because I overspeak, but by all means, shoot.
Hey man, all right, it's gonna be okay. So the first would you rather question:
All right.
would you rather always have bad gas or always have a really dry mouth?
That's a good one. Neither are pleasant.
No, not at all.
Probably. I'm now like legitimately thinking about this question.
Yeah, it's tough though.
I want to say dry mouth, but
The other would be
that could be a problem for singing.
right.
So I might have to go. With the gas.
Yeah, that happens. And I feel like you're in a position now.
I never thought I'd say.
Yeah. I feel like you're in a position now, though, that no one would say anything anyway. So, like, you could totally get away with you could just make it a fashion statement or something.
Like make it a thing.
Yeah, dude. It's like, just two
My
separate
new-
microphones. Learn to beatbox with your butt.
My new statement.
All right, question number 2. Would you rather, sorry, would you rather be forced to listen to the same 10 songs for the rest of your life or the same 5 movies?
Oh, same 10 songs. I mean,
yeah.
well, I don't know. Do I get to pick the songs?
Yeah, you get to pick anything. So.
Oh, then yeah, same 10 songs.
I feel like that's half my job anyway, working in radio. But
I'm sure. I mean, it's now. Okay, now same question to you.
Okay.
Same 10 songs or same 5 movies?
Oh, I would have to do music for sure. I can't sit down and watch movies, dude. I like to listen to full albums, and I will dissect that song so many times. So 10 songs is like a billion to me if I want it. I'm gonna just listen to the bass part on this song.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I love bands with so many layers. That's why it's like the Beatles. It's like, geez, you can listen over and over and over, and every time you hear something, you rediscover it. Or Soundgarden, it's the same thing. And
yeah. Wait, is that a duck? Is that a duck in there?
What just happened? Like, hold
Yeah.
on, I've heard this song, since I was 12, and I'm 27, and I'm pretty sure I just heard something new. Like that's.
Yep.
That's the power of music. And every time you hear it, I don't know, it invokes something primal. I think
Yes.
that is unparalleled by any other art form. And I love film, so that's that's a difficult
Yep.
question. There's some great film.
Ooh, what if in those 10 songs you can add scores from the films you like?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Possibly. I'd have to think about this one. If this was a permanent life decision
it
of
is.
10 songs, it would take more than a couple seconds on an interview to narrow that list down.
Yeah, this one's a little bit easier, I think, maybe. And it's the last one. Would you rather fight a man with bear arms, like rah, bear, or a bear with man arms?
um,
I don't want to fight.
so okay, so like half where okay, so like well, you're going bear. I'm thinking werewolf. Probably man with bear arms, because you just avoid the arms.
Yeah,
Like I
and
would hope it'd be kind of a wimpy man though.
yeah,
Like
right.
you know,
Like you
kind of
skipped leg
are
day.
you talking like Hulk style man, or you
Yeah.
talking
Oh, you know
you
what?
know,
It wasn't specific.
talking like a small, petite man with bare arms, because I think that kind of that weighs into the decision.
It does. I would
No one's
go
talking
the
like baby cub bear with man arms, because I think I could get down with a baby cub with
that'd
some
be
man
adorable,
arms. Like I would adopt him.
right? Like we don't have to fight. Even if we fought, that's what families do.
Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like the man with bear arms could possibly be reasoned with and or manipulated.
it's true.
Because the bear, if it's gonna fight you, it's gonna fight you no matter what.
Oh yeah, and that thing's got teeth and it's strong.
You
And it's
know?
big.
Yeah.
Unless it's a cute little cub.
Yes, and then in which case it's adopted. You can try to fight all day
My
long.
new baby, and then when I wrap him up, and they'll have the little like human hands, and they'll go, "Oh my God, what's wrong with your baby?" When they see his.
He's got the best of both worlds. His cry is a cute cub cry, and he still
Exactly.
grabs a bottle that can hold my hand. I am okay with this.
Perfect. I can pet his little nose.
We're gonna name him Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. I like it.
Yes. Taylor, dude, thank you so much for joining me, man. Again, the album Death by Rock and Roll comes out February 12th. I'm going to be listening to the whole thing entirely, and I'm sure Taylor will be wanting to see what everybody thinks about it.
I will. It's like my new favorite thing now in quarantine is watching. I just discovered this too. I'm so late to the game. Is reaction videos,
Oh, yeah.
songs for the first time. It's awesome.
Have you seen any of those of your songs?
I've only seen a couple. Like I just discovered this like literally yesterday.
Oh, wow, dude. Welcome to the
I
show.
know. Someone sent me one of like 25, and it cracked me up, and it was so much fun. So it's like in lieu of being able to see their faces in person at shows, I'm in.
Yeah. Give me a crowd now.
Exactly. So it'll be great fun. February 12th, Death of Rock and Roll.
Woo! All right. Thanks, Taylor.
Thanks so much. Good to see you.